So it's been probably the first 12 hours of this journey. Brennan hasn't said a word to anyone. But his eyes have just going back and forth about running through what just happened, what if any information he found on the thing that he was looking up on the computer, uh looking over at Flip, always like he'll look over at Flip and almost say something, like open his mouth, close it, and then looks back forward. And he like, and he's tapping his fingers and his foot and stuff like that. And then he finally just turns around and goes, "All right, everybody, we're gonna need a ship meeting."
And so Lyrax, upon boarding the vessel, went to the freezer and put the hand in it. Is anybody hurt? He looks around. Nobody's scratched. He takes off what remains of his terrible elf outfit, throws it away, and then goes and kicks back on his recliner.
Constant. The second she got back on the ship, just like devastation across her face. She would have like taken the spell and just like handed it to Flip before just going to her room or a corner somewhere and just having some quiet time. Just having a little quiet panic time.
Mm-hmm. Flip tosses the makeshift scroll to himself and catches it. Looks around. Oh, it's a vial of Stardust. Well, he kind of just, kind of carelessly tosses up and catches it.
Please don't throw that.
Noted. Sorry. Looks around, looks everyone in the eye. Well, we all knew the risks. This was a hit against Aurora. We're all alive, thankfully. All things considered, it was quite lucky unlucky and lucky that space pirates decided to invade just as we were doing our thing. A lot of people got hurt. Not us, thankfully. But...
Well, very nearly.
Very nearly, yes.
I'm sorry, I had to wrestle an elephant.
You did. You did great, considering
Thank
you're, huge. He says, like, looking up at him. Still.
Not as big as him.
A giant Goliath and a giant David situation.
A kaiju battle.
Of sorts, yes. But I want to say this. Due to Constance's quick thinking and knowledge of Aurora equipment, this is technically a mission accomplished. This will help Ritus. This will cure him. So if that's anything to celebrate, I will say this is. Now, seems you had something you wanted to say, Brenden. You've been holding back for a little while now.
Yeah. So I guess I can say I appreciate everybody's willingness to help my family. But when we had our all, say all, be all earlier on the ship about who we were and what we're doing here, just feel like we've neglected a few details.
How do you mean?
Well, Mr. Lyrax, I feel like you have a propensity to want to actually kill every Aurora person you see.
I didn't kill anybody.
You didn't kill anybody.
No.
Lyrax, you cut a man's hand off.
It's necessary. Needed to get through the access points, and I wasn't going to go lugging a whole person around while they were actively fighting me. And it saved my life, and it helped us escape. He didn't die, and they have a cleric that could probably regenerate that limb.
feel that the nonchalant attitude is more where I'm coming from with this one, Mr. Lyrax.
He raises an eyebrow. No, I mean, all things considered, that went rather well considering the circumstances. I thought you've been through wars. I didn't think a hand would shock you so much.
I have to agree here. I did shoot a man in the leg with a shotgun. I feel like that's more or less on par.
Oh,
But that is
that's
not a body
vicious.
count. This is a very high stakes job. We ran with a crew we have very little experience with at a very high priority target, looking for something we did not even know was there. And we were left with a almost perfect substitute, with again, no bodies. At least no blood on our hands.
And frankly, Constant, that is an extremely interesting ability you have there to be able to shape Stardust into spells. I don't think anybody's ever done that before.
Yes, quite handy indeed.
At least not as far as I've heard of. Is that why Aurora wants you back so badly?
More or less.
Hmm.
I imagine they won't be too pleased about what happened just now, though.
Well, I'm sure we'll be wanted, but two of us were already wanted.
Oh, Mr. Lyrax, I won't be wanted.
I guess not, but your partner in crime that you go everywhere with is. Doesn't that basically make you wanted?
Well, to be fair, I was wearing my ninja suit. It's more of a pants right now, and he kind of looks down at his gut hanging over it.
Oh, well,
But I was covered. The only thing they
completely fair,
saw
then.
was Constant in a very poorly disguised tabaxi.
The disguise didn't hold up.
Still, for the most part, that could be. It didn't. I don't know if that would act as a positive ID on you, considering you're wearing a bunch of stuff on their face.
Yes, no, quite frankly, I think that the two short men are in the same predicament that they've always been.
Unemployed.
Yes.
Doesn't matter if they saw me or not. They saw what happened in the lab. And like you said, it's not exactly something everyone can do.
Yeah, so
Well, now they're definitely going to want you.
I still want to go
exactly
back.
How many people can do that real quick? Do you know?
So far. Just me.
Oh, that's extremely useful.
Very useful. Indeed.
Which is, at the same
He's
time,
not
paints
sure
a
she
massive
likes-
target on you, but, you know.
What kind of
Miss
leads
Constance, what do you want from us?
Well, in the simplest terms, just a ride.
Where to, Miss Constance?
I don't know. I just... This seemed like a good place to just stay for a while while I thought about things. Up until today, I could have gone back, you know?
Brenden, did I find anything on the thing I was looking for? Okay. Yeah, so Brenden stands up and he's like pounding his head. Okay.
Well,
okay.
Constant,
Hmm.
I might know someone that could help. Someone who's really good at making people disappear. Whether or not she will help and whether or not we can find her is up for debate. Needs to be seen. But I could maybe help you find Monica.
Why would you do that?
Kind of tilts his head as if that's a strange question to ask.
No, you hate Aurora. There's a hand in the freezer.
Sure. I hate Aurora. You're not Aurora.
What is Aurora, Mr. Lyrax?
Aurora is a giant beast with many individual parts. A hive mind, almost. And not everybody in Aurora is bad. But
How do you decide who is?
I don't decide.
Who does?
The divines do that. What they decide, usually, is if they're going to encroach on my planet and my people and keep them in servitude and unfair conditions. And everybody that does that is my enemy. Everybody that works for this soulless corporation.
What about the people who do nothing?
Oh, well. So you're trying to shove what I've done into a moral box.
No, I'm just trying to get back to the part where you cut off a man's hand because he worked for a corporation and you needed to get into a room.
It was a life or death scenario. I'm sorry. If I hadn't done that, I don't think we would have gotten out of there quite as smoothly, or I probably wouldn't gotten out there at all.
I'm not seeing the issue either. It seems like the cleric was, more than capable, despite being a bit of a loser.
Lyrax,
The issue is, Lyrax, you literally said, I'll hold them off. I'm going to kill them. When you ran back into the rooms to get them.
I didn't say that.
I don't remember him saying that either.
I said I'll hold them off so you can delete the files. So Lyrax growls into the stones that we have in our ears. He says, "Get her out of there. I will keep the route of exit clear. Please and thank you."
Mr. Lyrax, we are not going to kill anybody on this ship.
Kill anyone in the way.
Mr. Lyrax, I repeat, we are not going to kill anyone in this ship.
What I said.
Oh yeah. This is way before we were deleting stuff in the surveillance room. This is when Miss Constance and Flip were on the other side of a door that you couldn't get on. There were no enemies in the hallway where you were. And I had gotten over the door. And you decided to run back down the hallway where there were enemies to try and make friends with pirates and shoot Auroran soldiers.
And
that's what I'm talking about, Lyrax. You put yourself in that situation. It would have been different if they were coming towards you, but everybody was fighting each other down a hallway. I get that you had to cut a hand off to get away, but why did you have to go down there in the first place?
I needed to get to Constance. I had no way of doing that.
Am I the only one seeing this way, Miss Constance? Do you see what I'm saying? Am I just that old and dumb?
I mean,
Flip was on his way to you. I was on my way to you.
And you almost turned into a nuclear bomb because you thought we were all going to die.
Exactly. Because everybody was separated. And you had gone into fight an entire battle by yourself, Mr. Lyrax.
I wasn't by myself. I was helping the enemy of my enemy.
And how did that work out for you at the end?
Pretty well. We disabled a vast majority of the Auroran force. I got the hand that it let us into any room we wanted to.
And you got betrayed.
No, not really. They just didn't want to help with a beast of a cleric, which I completely understand. We had met
Lyrax.
5 minutes ago.
Okay, Mr. Lyrax. The next time you're in a big fight by yourself, and I see a big beast, and I decide, hey, let's all just leave Mr. Lyrax because he has it, you won't consider that a betrayal.
I mean, I wouldn't say we were allies, so I don't know. We were acquaintances, maybe.
You know, you have a really good way with words, Mr. Lyrax. The semantics of it all.
I wouldn't expect a pirate captain to assist me. I tried, but it didn't work. I was trying what I could.
Fine. Okay, Constance, what so right now, you want to ride, right?
Yep.
And Mr. Lyrax, what do you want?
I believe I mentioned I just want to get Aurora off my planet.
Aurora off your planet. Okay.
And I understand you think that's impossible, but I'm going to try regardless.
All right. So the way that I see things, I think we should have some types of rules considering you want to kill anybody that's against your planet. I understand that, but how about we just go with the rule of no maiming or murdering people unless it's self-defense for a little bit of a good while right now, because
I mean, I feel like that's what I did.
charging down a hall against people, Mr. Lyrax, was not self-defense. Anyway, if we can all agree to that, I think that'll be fine. The only issue is now the reason I'm asking all these questions is because if everyone's going to be traveling on this ship together, I need to trust you. Our paths, our goals, they need to align. Okay? And right now, I feel like either you don't trust me, or we have a different type of understanding of what I want this to be, or something, because in my opinion, even though it was a success, we got the thing, why didn't we just ask Constance to do that from the beginning?
Well, she did not have the tools for that. Sorry to speak for you, Constant.
Fine,
Well, if that's the case, why didn't we try and adjust and have that as the plan?
Did not know she could do that.
That is a good question.
to be fair, I wasn't going to tell anybody about it. I wasn't planning on doing anything that would bring attention to myself, and that kind of does that.
Kitty's out of the bag, unfortunately.
Exactly.
Yep.
Are there any more talents that might be brought that might bring more attention to this ship or the people on it?
Nothing that I have.
Not pretty much just the one big thing.
So nobody's looking for you besides Aurora now. Mr. Lyrax, no outstanding enemies or warrants?
Aurora. It's been that way since before I met you.
Okay.
But apparently they don't care that much about me.
No, I think that's going to change pretty quickly after what we just did.
Maybe. Honestly, with the kind of resistance we were putting up, I think they just assumed that maybe I died in the fire.
Okay.
So,
I'd say it's up in the air as well. Do you have anything else to say, Brenden, or may I speak?
You can speak at any time. This is a conversation.
Excellent. When we're talking about trusting each other as well, we need to be able to trust you, Brenden, because what was the upside to taking that much Stardust?
If I had to blow up the ship, I was going to blow up the ship if I have to.
Now, let's think about this. In hindsight, of course,
yes,
all of the security footage has been already backed up to Aurora. So blowing up, killing people in that process, maiming them, people who do work for it, that would have been utterly and completely pointless, outside of potentially killing witnesses. But that's leaving there with way more bodies than we started with. And potentially you not being able to fly your own ship, who you let no one else fly. Might I remind you, it is a very dangerous substance. You put a lot into your system. We could have been dead.
Yes.
If that incapacitated you.
If it incapacitated me, right? Well, if we're going to be going ahead and looking in hindsight 2020, guess what it didn't, Flip?
How many
So
bullets did you
according
take?
to your ideas, according to you, if we need to be looking in hindsight, where this backup is, it didn't. So it shouldn't matter, according to you.
You had a job, though, on this mission. Your job, you wanted specifically to stay on the ship because you were going to operate.
So did you want me to stay on the ship and just let you guys die? Because I can do that every freaking time, Flip.
I want you to be able to do your job.
Did I do my job, Flip?
Yes.
Did I fly my ship?
You also took a dangerous amount of Stardust.
You know what the dangerous risk you took was not actually taking the freaking thing away from the guy that was trying to call out that we were on the ship.
I did. Wait, the microphone...
After he called that the pirates were on the ship, Flip.
I tried not to kill the man instantly.
You could have shot the... You could have shot it. You could have shot the thing that he was holding.
Now, see, that was a hiccup in my plan. It did not go exactly right.
So,
but
exactly. Plans don't go exactly right, Flip.
Now, see, does anyone...
Seems like your plan was to blow up the entire ship with us on it.
And I didn't blow up the entire ship.
But
that was on.
But that was your plan.
You know what? Quite frankly, Mr. Lyrax, this is my ship.
More reason you need to be able to operate it.
At the end of the day, it's my ship, Mr. Lyrax.
Sure,
now, me and Flip can argue about all this crap as much as we want.
Speaking of which, are you done?
What, Constance?
Just wanted to know how much you did take.
I don't know.
Don't even know.
Enough. It's not something I haven't done before.
It was enough to blow up a space station. In your mind.
Yes.
What's the max amount you've ever done before?
I don't know, Constant.
So you're not you would not label yourself as an experienced user.
I've taken enough to where I've needed to do. You've been there, Flip.
That's what it just sounds a little strange. It sounds very flimsy from staying on the ship to potentially blowing up the entire space station.
You know what? Next time I'll just stay on the ship. I'll let you die. Let me put it that way. Apparently that's where it needs to go, right?
That's not at all what I'm saying. I was sticking to the vents. I had my access points covered.
And how was that going, Flip?
All right,
Constance was captured.
I rescued her.
Stayed over by herself.
I rescued her. I used the vents to actually get away from active combat and then take out drones from the vent, get Constant, go over with Constant, have her make a perfect replica of what we need, and also take out 2 more drones, and then proceed to you without any risk of combat.
Without any risk of combat and
without
nobody
any
else's help.
extra risk of combat.
Do you think that you did that all by yourself, Flip?
Part of it.
Seemed like it.
What were you doing?
I was hacking the mainframe, making sure that, I don't know, some of the freaking spiders all around you were being turned off.
Did you need Stardust for that?
Yes, actually. I removed people from out of the freaking way, Flip. by intimidating them with Stardust.
Could they even see you if you were in the vent?
I wasn't in the vent when I was doing this. What are you talking about?
Why did you go straight for the Stardust then?
I didn't go straight for the Stardust. I went looking for Constance. She was in the room over, Flip.
Okay. I'm just asking why you needed to take that much amount of Stardust. Like, enough to blow everyone up. You had no idea what would happen, realistically.
You have no... No, I knew how to control myself, and I did a good job. I did control myself. I didn't blow up a ship. I didn't use unnecessary spells. You don't need to question my ability to control myself, Flip.
I do. I want to. I care about you. That was risky, and you have to admit
I don't fly... I've lived long enough, Flip.
So you're ready just to die now? Ready to risk it? Put that all?
I didn't die.
And take us all with you.
Lyrax, shut the fuck up! I didn't, Flip. Okay?
This time.
Okay, are you gonna start counting every single time that I take Stardust, or do I need to just start counting every time that you put a bullet in somebody? Every time that you take an unnecessary risk, according to me?
All I'm saying is it's addictive, Brenden. You need to be careful. We've been around long enough. We've seen some real dust heads. I don't want that for you. You stuck your whole face in that.
Fine.
And it's the good stuff, too. That's the real good stuff. That's
Fine.
not some junky, like, half-assed batch.
Again, I'm gonna die soon anyway, Flip.
You don't gotta talk like that, mate. I don't want that to happen.
Yeah, well, now I got people in my family dying, Flip. Being killed left and right, Flip. Being hunted across the galaxy, Flip. Sooner or later, somebody's gonna be coming for me. And maybe I need to take a couple of bits of Stardust to make sure that my face is just strewn across the galaxy. Because I don't know if they have a backup or if they do have a backup, okay? But what I do fucking know is now I got 2 people on my ship that they're looking for, Flip. And I'm trying to stay positive about it because I know that I made fucking promises for them. But I didn't sign up for this, Flip. I already fought in the wars.
You knew the risks of hitting Aurora.
Yes, I did know the risk of hitting Aurora. But at the end of the day, I'm still pissed off that we failed. Okay? Quite frankly, we failed. We got the stuff to help them out, but in the process, Flip, I'm driving around with 2 people that they have identified.
We don't know if they've identified Lyrax. Constant, most likely. But right now, with all these Dionhearts dying, I'd say there's one thing that we can focus on. And he holds up the vial. We're gonna have one less. And I want you to stay safe, mate. There don't need to be any extra Dionheart blood.
I think seeing this, Constant will... She's been growing more concerned as this has gone on, and even more uncomfortable as this has become a situation that it feels like she and Lyrax should not be there for. But she's looking at Brenden a bit differently now. And she'll just say,
You know, I didn't say anything because I didn't want any of this. You can drop me off at the next planet. And she'll head to her room.
To be frank, I'll, if she'll have me, I'll probably go with her. I don't think she can make it alone, so I'm going to help her. And he stands most of the way up. Can't stand all the way up.
I think that's for the best.
Brenden throws you a band. Put that on, Lyrax. You look ridiculous.
He just looks at it. And he looks back at you. And walks back to his room.
The rest of the trip is left in a very uneasy, uncomfortable silence as you head back to the triplets, Cletus, Jeebus, and Retus. Successful, yes, but at what cost?
This is a Speakeasy production.
Last time on Stardust and Dragons! After a daring heist into a Stardust warehouse, Constance's secret was revealed. While working for Aurora, she discovered the key to create spells. Although the heist was successful, tensions were high as they returned to Cletus's charming clinical cabaret and Retus's revolutionary rotational zoo.
Yes. All right. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Stardust and Dragons. I, as always, am your humble storyteller, Brenden Hatcher. And as always, I got my squad with me. We brought the crew. We got Max Morin. It's Lyrax Proudmane.
What's up? How's it going?
We got Rayna Mcguire playing Constant.
Hello.
We got Christian Hatcher playing Brenden Dionheart.
Hello. How we doing?
And we got Dan Wood playing Flip.
And we got Dan.
Great to be here as always.
Oh, I was so scared.
That's right.
I hope we have Dan Wood.
I hope we have Dan Wood. All right. Yeah. So yeah, welcome back. I see now. Listen, for you guys at home, it's only been about 2 weeks, as usual. But it's been a while since I've seen all of these smiling faces here, and we also have with us more smiling faces than usual. Now, if you really rock with us, you're like what, 12, 13, 14 episodes in at this point. So you might be listening to Dungeons is Occupied. They have an Occupied with Stardust the Dragon show that is amazing. And they also have their own podcast. And they're also here with us today. Say what's up to the people.
Oh, what's up to the people?
What's up? What's up?
What's up? Hello.
Yes, we have Robbie Thorne and Illidid here, reprising their roles as Cletus, Jeebus, and Retus, the Dionheart triplets.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you once again for gracing us with your presence. And without further ado, these guys are looking at me. They're like, they're ready. We're gonna go ahead and jump right into tonight's episode of Stardust and Dragons. Space. The final frontier.
The only frontier.
The only frontier. As we zoom in on the old rust bucket, this Winnebago flying through space with its rings. Shag carpets, reclining chairs, and an awkward silence. Brenden, you sit in the cockpit, recline backwards as Cletus's charming clinical cabaret and Retus's revolutionary rotational zoo comes into view. Giant space station that it is. Flip sits next to you, snoring, completely knocked out. And your other two companions, if you can even still call them that after your last conversation, are back in their rooms. Rooms that you made space for. Rooms that you created for them. What's going through your mind right now is you kind of use your muscle memory, you push the buttons that you need, and you begin the docking process, and the rust buckets gets to lock in.
Yeah. I don't know. Brenden feels, it's been at least a day or two since we had our big talk, to say the least. So Brenden has calmed down. He doesn't even have nearly as much Stardust in his system anymore, so his mind's even back to thinking clearly. And he wants to get off the ship. That's the biggest thing that he's thinking right now. At the very least, stretch his legs and stop being so, awkward. I think he wants to get through that awkward stage.
As the ship docks, Flip, kind of, you get disturbed out of your slumber.
You got it? Is that it?
Yeah.
Are we here?
You're here.
Oh.
We're here.
Okay. All right.
Let's get the other two.
Like,
little thing in our minds. Just speak to everybody. All right, guys, we're here. If you want to hop out, this is a good time to do it. Welcome back to the zoo. And he'll stand up and put a little bit of pep in his step, little artificial. Hey, at the very least, this is a happy day, regardless of the situation we're in. We're about to save my nephew.
we finally finished this, huh?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Constant, Lyrax. What are you? We'll start with Constant. What are you doing when Brenden's voice intrudes into your mind, saying, "We're here"?
I imagine she'd probably making more notes or something. Maybe just like trying to take a nap. She's pretty lethargic. Pretty much everything she didn't want to happen has happened now, and she's just kind of sat in it for a while.
Yeah. The secret's out. At least to these people.
Yeah, so there's a little heavy. But she will come out.
Okay. What is the prince doing?
Lyrax has been sitting there in relative darkness. He had gone ahead and strapped up because the space station has proved to be dangerous at times. So he went ahead and armored up, seeing as this was the day that we were going to dock. But he has been sitting in his room, his sword kind of laid out in front of him, and he's been in a akin to kneeling position. I don't know exactly how much room is in this bunk, but he's trying to be in a state of prayer, trying to contact this deity that is chosen to bond with him to a degree, to an oath. Not sure how much success he's having, but that's what he was doing as we docked.
What are you... Man, you don't have to do like the whole prayer right now, but what is Lyrax praying for exactly?
Lyrax is praying for strength in this time, for guidance, to show him what needs to be done and what the wise course of action would be, to help mend the bonds that have been a little bit ruptured recently between him and his new friends. He's always been very confident in social situations, but he hasn't really ever had a group like this. And he's never had quite this stressful of a situation socially, I think. So he's asking for strength for that. And of course, every once in a while he's slipping in a so also who are you? What who am I speaking to?
Give me an Arcana check.
An Arcana check?
Religion check, sorry.
Okay. Well, the good news is I'm equally bad in both.
Awesome.
An 11.
All right. 4 of you step off the rest bucket onto the space station, and you're greeted by Cletus and Jeebus. How are you guys looking as you definitely saw them coming back on your radar, and you were notified when the rest bucket docked.
Cletus and Jeebus were probably fighting during this time before the radar kind of picked up the ship, because we've been arguing back and forth about Jeebus's tools. They're all over the place, and Uncle Brenden talked about how dirty the station was. They've been gone for 4 days, and we have to have this place clean by the time they get back. And look at this radar. They are coming on, and they're docking now. So we need to move your tools now, Jeebus.
Don't touch them. They don't like it when you touch them because you're
so then you touch them.
I will touch them. I'll pick them up. It's fine. It's fine. Uncle Brenden doesn't mind my tools. He likes tools.
Here. Hi, Uncle Brenden.
As Jeebus is picking up all these tools. Uncle Brenden, you're back.
Yep.
As you Cletus, Jeebus, when you guys see these guys, they don't look thrilled. If you remember, they were going off to get a scroll of greater restoration.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. The vibe is almost as if they failed.
I think Cletus would calm down and kind of like hit Jeebus and maybe make him drop a tool or two. Uncle Brenden, did you
drop them?
Shut up, Jeebus. Uncle Brenden, did you get what Ritas needs?
Yeah. Just take me to Ritas, please. Let's get this part at least done with, okay?
Okay. And so, Jeebus drops the tools and runs up and grabs his hand.
Brenden takes. In his mind, he just thinks these boys are old enough to travel the galaxy, and we're still at the stage where he needs to hold my hand to take me places. But whatever.
Remember, Jeebus isn't right, so yes, he grabs your hand.
You will notice the station is considerably cleaner. A lot of the papers and bottles and things are all organized. The vegetation that Ritas kind of let go, Cletus has cleaned up and pushed back into its respective areas as we take you to Ritas's office, where we left him on the table, kind of like in a stasis thing.
Yeah. The doors open, and Brenden, the smell is the first thing that hits you. Something is rotting in there.
I got some I'll take 2 little I don't even take a lot of stuff. Just could press to digitate a little thing around me, my own little bubble.
Just you? Great.
Some smell good sauces as I'm walking in.
Yeah, you walk inside, you see all of the plants that covered the walls and the countertops are all dead. You see a couple of you see a little, what the remains of like an egg, like that's kind of like weakened and kind of smushed in on itself. I think that might be where the smell's coming from. And then laying on the table, of course, is old Ritas. He ain't looking good.
Yeah. Miss Constance, do you have the...
I gave it to Flip.
Flip.
All right, I have it right here. There you are, mate.
Thank you. And
Really stinks in here.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's not great, to be fair. It's very powerful stench. Something's definitely wrong.
Cletus wouldn't let me come in and talk to Regis very much when you were gone.
Probably because he's not in a good shape, lad.
If you guys remember, you had 5 days, and this is day 4.
Yeah, so as I start walking over there, I'm just gonna snap my finger, and off to the side of my arm, that little shiny diamond thing, that
Just in
jewel that
case.
I have, starts to glow, and a tiny little bubble just goes around my face. And I'm gonna cast air bubble. Just my version of a mask. Because I know Flip, and I'll probably also, because I get 1 extra thing, I think. Oh no, 2 extra globes. No, yeah, so it's 1 extra goes to Flip because I know he's all heavy about it, and the same thing over at Constance.
So it's not a potion.
And I'll walk over
It's
and
Stardust.
just pour my little whatever this greater restoration
Constant.
potion is.
Do you want to describe what this vial looks like?
Okay.
I imagine like moves around like the inside of a lava lamp. Like stars inside of a lava lamp just swirling around.
Interesting. So it's like more. This Stardust is so regular Stardust, as you know, is kind of like a sandy sort of sandstone kind of feel to it. Brenden, when you take this Stardust, it's almost like it's a mix between like it's in a state between a liquid and a gas. As it pours out, it kind of rolls out like smoke. And when it hits your tongue, though, it feels more like a liquid rushing down. Stardust. You immediately feel a cold sensation hit your belly as you take it. Now, as somebody who's very well versed in taking Stardust, this doesn't feel like anything you've ever taken before. The cold sensation starts to expand from the center of your chest down to all of your extremities, your arms, your legs, down to your fingertips, down to your toes, up into your throat. You can almost, and it tastes minty, almost. In the back of your neck, on the very back of your tongue. And it continues up, and it doesn't feel necessarily like power, per se. It feels more like knowledge. As the cold sensation, you feel it rush up the base of your spine into your head, almost like an ice cream headache, but not necessarily painful. And you look down at your hands, they begin to sparkle and glow with this healing energy. And it doesn't feel like you cast greater restoration. It feels as though it's almost as though the spell is being cast through you. It happens without you meaning to do it. It's almost like the spell began casting as soon as you took the Stardust. You lay your hands over Regis. Social distance, of course, like a foot, like a little, not touching. You feel the restorative energies cascade down off of your hands and cover Regis' body. The his gaunt skin begins to be filled back up with life. He gets rejuvenated, almost like a plant gets watered, and he as he begins to come back to life here, the color returns to his skin. The crust and the pustules begin to fall away, and he doesn't look great, but his breathing begins to steady. And his chest begins to rise and lower at a much more constant rate. His fingers twitch a bit. And Rhetus, you blink. And I'm sure the first thing you see is Brenden in a huge, in what looks like a space bubble. And you're back.
Jeebus. 5 more minutes.
And Jeebus just jumps on the bed and hugs him.
Ah.
He says, "You're back. You're back. You were gone for so long. We didn't touch any of your animals except the one we killed. But I mean, it was the others, and Uncle Brennan's here, and Uncle Flip's here, and it's been really fun. But you missed so much stuff. We have to talk. I've got so much stuff to talk to you about, and Cletus touched my tools.
I did not.
And I'm gonna tell Mom.
Why would you touch his tools?
I'm gonna tell Mom that he touched my tools.
Jeebus, he's just waking up. We gotta.
But he's been gone.
Why would you touch his tools? Cuddles, where are you? As you hear scuttling on like the roof of my room, and little carapace covered legs crawl down from a web as a giant spider just descends down. The spider looks big enough for me to ride, and it's just been sitting in the corner in the darkness, invisible to everybody because it looks like a rock, as it has a hard rocky shell around it. And I'm like, Cuddles, come here, boy. Oh, and it just starts licking my face with its little front teeth,
mandibles.
Just like, oh no, oh, you're such a good boy. Yes, and what happened to my room?
Well, you were asleep for some time, and well, Uncle Brenden said that it was a bit of a mess, so I did some cleaning, because he said so. So it's clean.
Oh, hi, Uncle Brenden. Hi. He's waving. Hello.
Yeah, he's just back at the door, watching as soon as he looked up and you said the spider started cut. Brenden just took steps back, like immediately. It wasn't like scared steps. It was just like, I don't know why these guys, like, where do they get all this? Why do they have all this? Why is the spider nice to them? He just doesn't know. So he just takes his steps back and he goes, "Hey, Rhetus."
You almost bump into Lyrax, who's been standing ominously in the doorframe, kind of leaning. When nobody's noticed because he's so stealthy.
Yeah, Rhetus, why are you
still a foot taller than everybody?
You know what?
Here.
There's a giant spider, Rhetus, that's just come down from the freaking roof, Rhetus. Why do you have that, Rhetus?
Oh yeah, Cuddles, Uncle Brenden, Cuddles. This is Cuddles. I hatched him. Isn't he fascinating? I don't know what kind of spider species he is, but he's so friendly. Mm-hmm. This thing looks terrifying. Like it just has like giant eyes, and it looks like it's made of rock.
I don't know. Rock. Oh,
stone.
Okay.
Stone. It's got stone. It's got stone skin attached to its exoskeleton.
Do I?
And
I hate to ask. Do I know what this thing is?
Ooh. I don't think so. You might.
I got a +1 to nature, baby.
Roll it.
All right. And that's only because of the luck stone, by the way.
Jesus.
All right, here we go.
Yeah.
All right. I definitely don't know what it is. It's a 7.
Yeah.
And I hatched it.
An animated spider statue.
And I hatched it myself. And I... My flowers are dead.
Reedus. That's
Yeah.
the big one is Lyrax. They came with Uncle Brenden and Uncle Flip, and then Constant is back behind.
Just kind of like poke around and
You know what else almost died? You.
Oh no, I would have been fine.
Yeah.
I was just.
What do you remember? What do you remember before? You took your name.
So I just got a new shipment of rare and exotic flowers, and I was fascinated by them, and I was smelling them all because they smelled really, really good. And there was this like weird yellowish flower that was just there, and it let out a giant pollen burst on me, and I was like, hey, I'm gonna be able to pollinate this flower and crossbreed some new species. And then I got really sleepy. And I took a nap. I've only been taking a nap for... Oh, I smell bad.
Yeah.
Well, I seen that flower. I'll go get it. I'm gonna go get it for you.
What are you? That's how? How can you be related to me and be this? He stops himself before he says something horrible, and he just
Okay.
Jeebus
runs out to go grab the flower.
No, I'm in the way.
I'm like, I'm gonna go get the flower because Uncle Brenden needs to see it.
No, I don't.
Lyrax looks at him unimpressed.
I know. Okay, Lyrax.
Dead face.
Like,
No, I don't think you are.
But
okay.
Uncle,
are you gonna shush? Okay, I'm being serious right now.
He kind of leans over and like pats his head. He says, "Oh, you sweet innocent bean."
Yeah, Reedus, you look around. You look around your office, like your room, and yeah, it is not good here. There is mold on like everything. All of your plants are dead. The egg that you were incubating has over incubated and died. Whatever you were trying to grow inside.
The giant squid.
Lots of time has passed.
Yes. Okay, listen. Everybody just listen for one moment, please. First off, it seems to me that if things like this are going to happen on a Dionheart ship, you guys might not need to be in charge of one. Okay? I will call your mother and make her bring the big ship around and pick this thing up if anything like this ever happens again. That's first thing. Okay, first things first.
But
there is no buts. Okay, there are no buts. You can put your head down, Cletus.
I got a question.
I am laying down the law right now. Okay.
But I have a question about the law.
The law has no questions and needs no questions.
Cletus, did you feed the elemental in the
Okay.
room?
Next up, shush, Reedus. From now on, any strange things that are going to be placed on this ship need to be vetted. We all have spells, boys. There is one called Identify. We will be identifying any and everything that comes on here so that you know what it is. No longer will we be just smelling any old thing. Okay? No longer will we bring in whatever the heck that spider's name is on the ship. Incubated or not. Okay? We can no longer let you guys have this happen. So until you show some more initiative, and until I come back another time, these are the rules. Now we will be taking questions.
Cletus, he sounds like Dad.
He does. It's
He
throwing
is
me off.
my brother. Now continue.
Well,
Did you get any more of those? Because I kind of enjoy the chaos, and that comes in really handy. He's pointing to like the empty vial of Greater Restoration.
Brennan's face just like drops a little bit. Like you see his face age.
I mean, in case of
you see his
emergencies.
physically age.
You
The dark
hear
circles-
crackling as one more wrinkle forms on the side of his eye.
Like SpongeBob when it gets way too photorealistic all of a sudden.
Yeah.
When it's a real hyper detailed zoom in.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, all of a sudden, like the dark spots under his eye, his eyes basically recede a little bit more into his face, and he's just like,
I have something for that, Uncle Brenden. I got a vial over here.
Cletus.
It's
we did not get any more.
Jeebus is still trying to get by Lyrax.
He's just pushing.
Opportunity attack.
I will allow Lyrax to hit you if you do not stop.
Jeebus, give me an acrobatics or athletics, whichever one.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, is this a grapple check?
Okay, never mind. That was a nat 1.
Oof. All right. Lyrax trips you. and just proceeds to like sit on you. It's like
rude.
In the meantime, Regis takes out a flute from one of his pockets, and he's like, I'm just gonna get my room cleaned up a little bit. And as he puts his as he whistles, you see little mushrooms start sprouting out of like the dead plants, and they just kind of like bloop, bloop, bloop. And they start moving and kind of like moving in unison as he plays the little whistle. He's like, and they start eating like dead plants and like pulling them out of the like pots and like picking up the scraps of the egg as more little toadstools just start moving about his room. Isn't this cool? I found this on a planet.
Is Regis a druid?
No, Regis is a ranger.
Oh, okay, ranger. Yeah.
Regis is in trouble.
So, he's a ranger of the Swarm Master Ranger.
Oh, interesting.
He's
Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't like any of this at all. Like this is the stuff that I was
But see,
talking about.
but he's in control again now.
I am seeing Cletus. Like what? Why do we have mushroom pals that are just
Okay, wait, no, but
here?
the mushrooms taste really good. You have to try one.
So
at
you
least
eat
once.
your pals too?
No, not the talking ones, but the ones that just feel
Why
good.
do you have talking? What the fudge?
Hey, they are fun guys. Okay.
While this is happening, Lyrax looks down at Rita, or Jeebus, sorry.
Looks down at one of them.
He looks down at Jeebus and he actually like grabs him by the collar and like picks him up. And says, actually, you know what? On second thought, take me to those flowers.
Okay.
No.
You are not going to touch
You
them.
guys-
Though. You're
No.
going to take me where they are.
Okay.
And
What
if
are
I have
you
to put
talking
a
about?
harness on you, I will.
I don't know what a harness is.
You'll find out. Go on.
You guys spend the rest of the evening, the next couple of hours, decontaminating, quarantining, deep cleaning of the space station, and I'd say that's probably I'll give everybody like a short rest if anybody needs it.
Did you all see the water elemental?
Didn't we
room?
like?
Oh yeah, it's
Had
been
a
a few
few
hours. Yeah.
days,
Cut
bro,
that.
we're good.
Cut that. Sorry, yeah, 10 days.
Oh, gotcha. You just
I was
see
like,
like
I already
two
hit the long
glowing
rest
eyes.
button. Sorry.
Wait, say that again, Regis.
Oh, did you all see the water elemental room with the glowing eyes on it? And he opens a window and there's like these two glowing eyes.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Ritas.
Yes.
If you keep this up, you're gonna end up on somebody's radar. Okay? You have an army.
But
No,
that's what
there's
we
no
need.
excuse.
It's the
There's no
Cletus's
ex-
charming
why is-
clinical cabaret.
This is what? Why do you need these violent creatures? Why don't you
Because
just have a dog?
that's part of Regis' revolutionary
a cat.
rotational zoo. It's a part of the attraction. It's the immersion.
We have,
You don't understand,
and we have
Uncle
dogs.
Brenden. It
No,
sells
I need a
tickets.
house dog. What happened to Billy?
I think Cuddles ate that one. I don't know.
Don't
That was
tell
a
him
family
Cuddles ate
pet.
That one.
That was a family pet.
Well, we
Yeah,
have a
when-
ghost now.
When Jeebus takes him to the flower and Lyrax finds it, he's gonna use Divine Smite on his sword and just like incinerate it.
Oh,
Just let it burn with holy energy.
And Jeebus is just watching him going, "Oh, Regis is gonna be mad."
Lyrax.
Regis can do whatever he wants.
Cast your Divine Smite. When you cast your Divine Smite, it's usually what, golden?
Oh yeah. I mean, it was before.
Comes out hot. Your sword. Give me a con save.
On save, okay. All right, die. Let's roll a little bit better than we have been. All right, natural 1.
Natural 1? Your sword burns you. You take 4 points of damage. As the sword singes your paw and you drop it.
I have gloves that'll help with that.
I was wearing a gauntlet. It got through it.
Did it hurt?
Yes.
Well, the plant's not burned, so I'm gonna go ahead and take it.
Don't touch it.
But Brenden wanted to see it.
I'm gonna keep it where it is until we can dispose of it.
Okay. I'm gonna go because I don't like it when you sit on me. And he starts walking off.
You're the first to say that.
You see more.
Jesus. Jeez.
You see more little mushrooms appear in the plant room, and they're just like watering plants. Like they're like putting little tiny like buckets of water that are like thimble sizes, and putting them inside the plants, and they're just crawling around. And there's also a Venus flytrap that like eats one, and then like consumes it as you're in the plant room. And it's just like watering the plants.
All right. Yeah, and with that, you managed to clear out the place. You spend like
send it up the airlock.
maybe like a little over a day, getting the place up to tip top shape and everything. And Clea's charming clinical cabaret and Regis' revolutionary rotational zoo has never looked better.
No, nice. That's exciting. I'm so happy.
All right, so next time I come back here, it needs to look just like this, if not better. Okay, this is the way that you hold a ship. Okay, if you're not going to have the style that me and Flip have, then you have to have the cleanliness that the family ship has. Okay?
Well, see now, but the incredible, illustrious Two Short Men are fighters. We are showmen. We hopefully the next time that you come by, hopefully Regis doesn't get touched by another flower, but you can enjoy a show or a part of the petting zoo when we bring the people back in, when we start selling tickets again.
We still have that
that's our business.
And that
you're gonna get the whole family sued, right? You're just gonna
no. We've got insurance for that. We've got people.
There's not enough.
Oh, we've got people. It's fine.
There's not enough. Get more, double it, triple it, and then you can open up this. This is a death trap, but okay, that's fine. Just stay in contact. First off, don't go in areas where you can't get in contact with big shit. Because I swear, if anything happens to you again, I'm taking it away. I'll do it.
No, you can't do it.
I will do it. Cletus.
Uncle Flip, you look tired.
Yeah, I am a little tired. Preparation H plan will do that to you.
It sounds like it hurts.
It's good exercise. We'll say that. It's good exercise. But yeah, they do
relax in the Capybara hot springs.
Do you say Capybara hot springs?
Doesn't sound too bad, actually.
I like this
Oh
place
yeah,
more
yeah.
now.
Y'all definitely saw the capybara hot springs. Yeah, Rita showed you guys all sorts of different little creatures and stuff like
Don't know
that.
what a capybara is.
I found one on this asteroid belt, and I bred it with another thing, and so now I have this. It's a capybara. That's what I named it. They're cuddly.
I'm gonna go ahead and head back to the ship. And now that their ship's all taken care of, I'm just gonna look and see actually like where we are. Kind of start any type of charting, any type of anything. What's around us? Where are we? Start looking up on news on if there any like anything that anybody has heard about with this crazy pirate ship that stole stuff from just background knowledge and figuring out what our status is in the universe.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, the Stardust facility attack definitely made the news. They're talking about how it was a complete total loss for Aurora Industries. Turns out the pirates actually made off with most of the Stardust. They ended up overtaking the remainder of the people on the facility, and by the time backup had arrived, the pirate ships had already gone. It's a big loss for Aurora Industries. As far as where you guys are, again, most of the galaxy is like controlled by Aurora at this point, so you're definitely in like Aurora controlled space. The nearest planet is a place called Luminara. They call it a hub of peace and transformation. A little bit of history on Luminara here. It was the site of a lot of battles during the Stardust Wars, and it was a war-torn planet. A lot of different battle zones. But under Aurora Industries' guidance, it's turned into a bustling planet of innovation. Basically, most of the planet is more or less barren or inhabitable. But in spite of that, it hosts a bunch of sprawling cities, a lot of infrastructure. They all live in these controlled climates and habitable zones underneath these large energy domes that protect against like the cosmic and the magical radiation from the fighting. So as long as you stay inside of the domes, inside of the domes is really, really nice.
All right, yeah. So I guess I just start charting a course, figuring out how long this stuff was going to take. I start cleaning up the ship a little bit. And I guess hearing all the stuff about what happened with Aurora on the news and things like that. While nobody else is on the ship, I'm going to go ahead and go back over to our weapons rack. And I'm going to put in a little code. And behind the weapons rack, you're just going to see a whole bunch of, if anybody was in there, they'd see a whole bunch of just dusty tools and things that I haven't actually had out since the wars. Some of them are dangerous, some of them aren't dangerous. It's just a whole bunch of stuff, and it's like what you would think in an actual workshop. And I'm going to start just putting them in their little trinket portions on where they would go in my body. And it doesn't really seem like it changes much on the way that I look, but if I were to tap there, it activates another spell. It does the other thing. It's just stuff that I haven't had to have on in years and years and years and years and years.
Had to bust out the old gear.
Yeah. And so he's going to do all that, and he'll head back out to the Capybara place.
Capybara Springs.
The Capybara Springs.
Okay.
And whenever
it's good for your skin.
Whenever he gets there, he'll just sit there. He won't go in or anything like that. He'll stay by the door. He'll probably take a little seat and let the party, if they are enjoying it, just enjoy it until they're ready to get out.
Lyrax is notably MIA for this capybara thing. He has not been seen for a couple of hours.
What is Lyrax up to?
I'd like to make a investigation check, Brenden.
What you investigating?
I want to see if there are any. I know there's one dragon on board, but if there are any others.
You only have to make an investigation check. You spent the last couple of days cleaning this place up. There's no other dragon.
Just the one.
You just ask Regis.
No. This is personal. Lyrax is standing outside of the blue dragon enclosure, just kind of staring at him, thinking to himself silently.
Curled up in the back of the enclosure, sleeping.
He's just standing there for a long time.
So, after a few hours, everybody will hear, just in their brains, a little whisper. Alright, everybody. If you guys are all feeling better, and at peace for the most part, I do think it is time for us to go ahead and make our leave. I've charted a course to the nearest planet. It is a peaceful place, but I do think, quite frankly, even if we aren't going to depart each other's ways yet, and whenever we figure out whatever's going on with our situation, I do think this is a great planet to learn for everybody in the party. Just, to visit, probably learn some history of, and figure out our next moves.
Constant.
Yep.
After the whole Capybara Springs.
I also love the capybaras.
Yeah. Regis has a lot of nice, interesting creatures on this ship that I'm sure Constant absolutely adores, being a scientist herself.
Mostly, yes. She's not fond of the giant spider, given what just happened.
I see the baby squids.
Baby squids.
Baby squids. Well, they turn into giant squids, but if you keep them in a small container, and as long as it doesn't break and you don't put any weird water in it, they don't grow. So they stay tiny.
Do they grow mentally? Is that like, did you just trap them in a hell of a tiny body?
No. It's just they grow and consume whatever space they're put in. And I'm just keeping them in a small container and feeding them small fish.
So if
as
you
long
let
as they
one
don't get out
into
of
the
the
vacuum of space. Put it.
Yes. I know. I know. So don't let them out. But we can look at them from the container they're in. I'll feed them some fish. And you just see Regis open the container gently, and a small tentacled hand just comes out and it starts to expand a little bit, and he's pushes it back in. He puts a little fish in there.
It's like the Subnautica tank where you can put really tiny versions of all the horrendous things you can find out in the wild.
Fascinating. I love animals and plants.
You can learn a lot from them.
I know. They're very, very peaceful. My brothers say that I'm obsessed with them, but honestly, they're better than people.
I don't think obsession is so bad.
I know. And that's why I take care of them here. Because nobody wants them anywhere. Everyone just kills them. Although they did eat my dog. But I mean, it's fine. Now there's a ghost dog wandering around the halls.
There's what?
A ghost dog.
She looks equal parts horrified and still fascinated.
Take me to the ghost dog.
Okay, come on. So right here, you can hear the jingling of and he goes into a hallway. He's you can hear the jingling of his collar, and he whistles, and you hear a little a little bell come by and like the slight wagging of a tail. I can't really see him, but I can hear him.
Does Constant hear anything?
No, Constant, you don't.
Okay.
He's
Hi,
just smiling at you. Rita's just staring at you, smiling at you with his giant glasses. Just like,
Aren't you glad you saved his life?
Constant. When after Rita shows you around a little bit more, when you're not hanging out with the capybaras or looking at these plants and animals, you do get a moment to yourself where your situation kind of starts to set in. You were on that ship, the Aurora ship, and now your secret's kind of been exposed. What's Constant thinking about doing next?
She's a bit torn. She does and doesn't know what's next for her. She knows what their last group conversation was, what she said and everything. And she knows that she should leave. She should keep this as close to the chest as possible. Just start over. But she doesn't want to. Even if she won't admit it, there is some part of her that wishes that things would work out and that she could stay and it would all be fine. But she also doesn't want to necessarily complicate or endanger these people that she's come to care about. So she's kind of dreading getting to the next place. But they can't just stay here forever.
Yeah. And, as nice as Cletus's charming clinical cabaret and Rita's revolutionary rotational zoo is, you can't stay here forever. And of course, Brendan's voice, you hear it over the little mental intercom as his train's moving on to the next station.
It takes a couple seconds after Brenden gets his initial message out. But Lyrax does reply, saying,
I think we all should have a quick chat before we take off. Or maybe after. But I have a few things I'd like to say to you all.
You guys kind of get all your stuff together, prepare to leave. Cletus, Jeebus, Ritus, you guys say goodbye as your house guests are about to depart.
Oh, wait a second, I got something I want to give you.
Me first, Jeebus.
No, I gotta go get it. It's fine.
Okay,
go first.
Wait.
Just let him
What
go.
are you trying to... No, what are they trying to put on my ship? Okay?
We'll see. Yes,
Jeebus just takes off at a dead run.
Immediately.
I'm not going to sit
pulling
on him
out
this
my
time.
guns. It's not pointing at anybody.
He's
It's
not
just
the one that deals with animals.
While they're
He's the
getting their
tinkerer.
things.
I know who he is. Lyrax.
Constant is kind of hoping it'll be a small squid.
Cletus is holding out some potion bottles that he's made for everybody. and he gives one specifically to Uncle Flip. He says, I know that you've been tired and you've been kind of wanting to take a little bit more of a nap. This one I called Nocturna. It's like a I guess like an upgraded melatonin. It'll really help you sleep. And he just hands you this like it's about 6 inches tall and like a pear-shaped potion, and it's a little bit big enough to where he has to hold it with 2 hands and just kind of like holds it out to you.
Thank you, lad. It'll be a bit better than cryo sleep, huh?
Oh yes. One time I even slept for a whole week. It was really fun. Well, I slept really well. I didn't give you that one. I just
Well, thank you. Regardless.
He just gave you lean.
Yeah, for real.
I call this one purple.
It's fucking purple and it has bubbles.
Hey, homie, this will put you right out, bro.
I have.
Yeah, if you don't like the way it's mixed with some Sprite, you just
a little bit of purple drink.
Such a heartwarming gift, especially with the holidays coming up.
Jeebus, what do you give as your party gift?
So you see Jeebus come running up and he's carrying these boots, and they actually look rather nice, which is completely at odds with what he looks like. And they are embroidered in like a silver thread and gears and springs on the sides. And it goes back to spurs, but the spur is an actual gear. And he says, here. And he hands them to Uncle Brenden.
It's actually
He
stylish
says,
as hell.
He says, you'll like these. They'll help. And I mean, you just got to stomp them to turn them on. And I used it once, and it's been a while, but I mean, it goes from here to there, and you'll like them. They fit your outfit really well, and I think you'll like them.
Thank you so much, Jeebus. So much. I am holding them with like both hands. They're far away from my body. I'm gonna get these on the ship right away. All right. And I think
he smiles and nods.
Yeah.
And he says, "Don't tell my mom."
Yeah. Brady just smiles a little bit, and in his mind, he's just like, he has the identify portion of the ship just ready to go.
I'd like to think that you have like a big scanner thing and it's like bomb proof. Just in case.
Just in case.
Just in case. And then Cletus.
Raidus.
The other one.
Who the other one?
The third one.
My turn. And he Redis comes up with Cuddles next to him, and he's like, Cuddles, do the thing. And Cuddles stands up on its back legs, so it's got 8 legs, stands up on its back legs. Underneath it, there's just like this webbing underneath its stomach, and he just starts digging through it, and he pulls out an egg.
See, this is the stuff that I'm talking about. Live creatures on my ship. What the fudge, bruh?
Well, no, it's not a live creature yet. The egg is has swirls, multicolored swirls on it. It's speckled, but it also has this glimmering sheen. It seems like it's kind of moist to the touch as well.
Oh, breakfast.
No, it's not an omelet.
Redis, what is this creature that you were trying to give us?
It's a mystery. Constance, here you go. It needs to be watered twice a day, and also you have to hold it next to your chest. It likes to feel your heartbeat.
She looks horrified for a second before the curiosity takes over when he says it's a mystery.
Lyrax reaches for the revolver slowly.
No.
And
while Redis is trying to make sure that Constant gets this egg, Cletus comes up with a couple more potions, right?
Yes, I have the 3 more. So I give one to Lyrax, and I say, I know you're a bit of a fighter up close, so I call this one the Elixir of Ironwood. I found that it kind of protects me from Redis's more bitey animals, so it helps me. So maybe it'll help you, and so I give the potion to you. It's got like pieces of like a hard wood floating inside the liquid.
Tiny bits of bark floating in water. Yeah. Oh, thanks.
Yeah, have some of this tree water. You'll love it. Good for you.
It's my own recipe.
Smells straight like tea tree oil.
I like that tea tree oil. Yeah. To Brenden, I give one that it's probably the weirdest looking one. There's like bits and pieces of like flower petals that look like eyes almost. It's Uncle Brenden. It's such a it's a fun one.
It's so nice.
Yes.
I have the other. I've grabbed this thing, and it's also. I basically look like a cross, and because I have these things so far away from my body.
It doesn't hurt you. It just. I call it Cletus's seeing potion. It helps some of my other clients that need a little help seeing. So, and I know, you're getting a little in the age. So maybe you could.
Thank you so much, Cletus, for this.
Cletus, did you get into my eye tree again? Did you
No.
take leaves off my eye tree?
No.
Y'all don't have to. Just everybody shush.
Eye tree.
Everybody just shush. Thank you so much for these gifts that are going on my very small enclosed space.
But before I forget, Constant, I did get one specifically for you because you like to hide sometimes. This one's for you. I call it 1-2 tree leaf.
What does that mean?
You make like a tree and leaf. You've never heard that? Okay, well, anyway, it's kind of like a walk through plants thing. I don't know. I fell one time and I transported somewhere, so I put it in a bottle, and it's for you.
Yeah, that's how that works.
Yeah.
Okay.
The trepidation in everyone.
Yeah,
is
amazing.
Yeah, I can't wait until we're at a life or death situation and they have to rely on these items to
Just the way it's
make it out of
explained.
that. It's totally fine.
I went
Constant, identify, right? Please,
I went
tell
somewhere and something happened, man. It was great, and I put it in a bottle.
Put it in a bottle.
This
All right,
is like Norse crafting.
And with that, yeah,
so much. We're gonna leave now.
Everybody says their goodbyes. And with that,
all of the things they gave us in like a little corner, and I press a few buttons on the ship, and then a blue light just shines down on there, and then a whole nother purple like little cage goes over of just energy.
Get a quarantine.
It's literally like quarantine protocol of like, we will check those things out later.
And with that, the party is gonna go ahead and depart from the
Bye,
triplets.
Constant. Don't forget to water. Don't forget to water the egg. Remember, it likes your heartbeat.
Okay.
Goodbye, you three. It was a fun adventure.
Be safe.
It was. Oh, can I have your
And
fur?
anytime you guys want to, you've got
can
free
you have
tickets
my
to the zoo.
fur?
I love you all. We are leaving now.
Bye, Uncle
Goodbye.
Brenden.
Goodbye.
Bye, Uncle
Uncle
Brenden.
Flip.
Bye, Uncle Flip.
Wait, he just asked for my fur.
Just Lyrax, get on the ship. Get on the ship now.
Free tickets is very generous.
Give me your fur.
Thank you.
No.
No.
There's enough of that on my bed. And he
Besides.
walks out.
All right. So, leaving Cletus's charming clinical cabaret and Redis's revolutionary rotational zoo behind. I have not messed that up once,
No,
by
you
the way.
haven't. Yeah, you said it like 5 to 10 times, just trying to
I know.
rub
To
it
prove
in.
a point. Yes. No flubs out here. All right. As the triplets hit your rear view, and nothing but space in your foreview, Brenden, you set a course for Luminara, and the four of you find yourselves back on the rest bucket. Lyrax, you plop down in one of the 4 recliners, the one that's designated for you, the one covered in cat hair.
Yeah, it's canonical. He sheds now.
Oh yeah,
Canonical.
and then on top of that, freaking Chunk isn't here to clean the ship anymore.
Ship is about to go into disarray. But Lyrax, you plop down in your chair and gather your thoughts, as you did want to have a little informal meeting before everyone reconvened, before everyone I guess separated for the night.
Yeah. Lyrax takes a seat in this chair because that's the only way he can appear any kind of dignified on this ship.
He hunched over all the other times.
Yeah. he can't stand up.
Before
They just walk around on all fours.
Before we talk, could you please just put on the band I gave you? You're still looking ridiculous.
Band, we
What a great start to this conversation.
Please.
Yeah, no, at the end of the last episode, Brenden threw a band at me and I didn't put it on.
Yes. Please put on the band.
That's over in my chambers.
Okay. Yeah.
I did. And I appreciate the thought, Brenden. Though I'm still very confused why you keep saying I don't look well.
No, it just makes you smaller so you don't have to hunch over in the ship.
Well, you could just say that.
It makes you smaller so you don't have to look
Thank
so
you for
uncomfortable in the
finally
ship.
saying that. He kind of runs his hands through his mane. He's like, okay. Look, and he sits up this time, a little bit hunched forward. Not at all like last time we met when he was kind of in the recliner sideways, very casual, like throwing a ball up and down. He looks a lot more serious this time as he kind of leans over. He kind of meets all of your eyes. Look, I think there were a lot of things that were said. A lot of things that were done in the heat of the moment. And in the heat of a moment, I think several of us said things we didn't mean to say or didn't want to say or something like that. And that's not to invalidate anybody's points. I think we all had something that was important to be said, and I'm glad we got it off our chests. But he looks over at Constant, kind of his golden eyes, like very, very hard in this moment. Constant, you did us a great service. You did a thing that I don't believe anyone else in this galaxy can do, and you saved the life of Brendan's cousin. And he owes you for that.
No, he
You
doesn't.
also lied and kept secrets from us, which is not in itself a bad thing, but when it could have avoided this whole mission, it is not great. Brenden, you fought very bravely. You lended your ship to this endeavor, and you've helped us with many things. You also ingested a crazy amount of Stardust and almost blew us all up, but, we already talked about that. Flip, no notes, you did great. Myself, I don't mean to downplay it, but I apparently did an act that made you all very mistrusting of me, and through my year or so out and about, I messed up, And I didn't see it that way at the time. But I was doing what was necessary. But not only has that drawn all of your ire, that is also apparently caused my god to forsake me. So I am in a strange place. And yes, I did help in assisting your cousin save his life, but I messed up. And I am here to admit that. So I think, with all of that on the table, I would like to start on a better foot than how we have been. We've been through a lot already, done a lot, in just a very short time. Saved people's lives, ended others. And I think at this point we're all in this together, whether we like it or not. And personally, I like all of you, so I would like to propose that, and he looks over to Constant, if you're willing, that we all continue traveling together. Because the last thing you probably want to do when you're being hunted by a massive thing like Aurora is just split up and make yourselves weaker. And I would like to keep you all alive and well.
Constant looks for a second like she might cry with relief, but then she brings it in and then quickly looks over to see how Brenden and Flip are taking in the information.
Agreed. Having a little security. Someone watching our back is always good. Flip looks to Brenden and back to the group. This applies to all of you as well. I want to keep you all safe. Things are different now. But we shouldn't let that divide us.
Brenden has like a very still stoic face. And but it hasn't changed throughout all of what Lyrax has said, just at all. And he's like, Brenden sits up and responds to Flip. Well, I made the chairs for him, so I mean, I intended on you guys staying on the ship. I've never made the chairs for anyone else. But in all honesty, he pats himself on his own little joke there. Listen, I'm fine with everyone staying on the ship. We're not being actually looked for in the news right now or something. And, the galaxy's a big place. And with Flip saying we're not neutral anymore, then we don't have to be neutral about, things. But with the Stardust Wars also comes a code. At the very least, Flip and I have had our idea of whatever happens, we can be straight with each other. And whatever happens, we're going to follow the other one. Flip does something stupid, I'm right there behind him, and we'll talk about it later. But we try and stick to a plan. And I might have went off on a little different with mine, but I think I've been, we've been going about this a little wrong. Okay, we need a system of how we're making decisions. We need a system of how we're going to fight if we're going to continuously fight. We need just a general play, some general plan of what needs to be our priorities. Now, with Flip and I, it's always just been each other's lives, and the rust bucket second. And after those two things, money. but it feels like we have some more things to be looking at now, especially considering you, Miss Constance. I sincerely apologize for how angry I was, but for me, it was a family issue. And I took that out on you, so I do apologize. But what I will say is, Miss Constance, I don't know if you've been in the galaxy too much, either you, Mr. Lyrax, but one thing's for sure.
Can't say that I have.
Excuse me. One thing's for sure. What Flip says about being a pet is true. I mean, we saw those guys down there in the cluster with the slaves and stuff, but that was pretty light compared to the things that are actually going on in this galaxy. I chose the planet that we're going to so you guys could see a little bit of the history and for you, Mr. Lyrax, I understand your planet's at war with Aurora, so show you what a planet looks like that's been fully assimilated into Aurora after war. Miss Constant, I'm going to show you the same thing, but also what Aurora is capable of. And that's as neutral as I can be in this situation, but I mean, your lives are important to me. I don't want to see you die, but whatever we make and however we go forward, I do stress. Let's talk early, before we go anywhere, about what we want these rules to be. This code of conduct, so to speak. So that we can all see it another day. No.
Well, I think you have a good basis. Rule 1 would be we all look out for each other. If we're going to stick in this together, then that's the top priority. You have my full strength.
Protect each other, protect our home, how we get around. Anything to make you more comfortable as well. Any rules you'd like to propose?
Rule 2. I think the rust bucket obviously goes without saying. I mean, without that, we're dead in the water, right? So
yes, I'd say that's up there.
That's a very high priority, right?
Plus, Brenden would be awfully sore if we even so much as scratched the paint on her.
I'm gonna be honest with you. This ship is older than Constance, so we please don't we can't leave. Yeah, we can't let it die. Can't let it die. It's an heirloom at this point. It'd be a tragedy, a galactic tragedy.
This ship is like several of Constance's life.
I don't know if I could make it out if we lost my ship.
Yes. Oh, the tears if you lost this thing. Oh, you'd just be crying and crying.
Well, then, I have to be fully honest with you. For Rule 3 is save my people, but that is not one that you have to adhere to.
Now, I feel like this is where it does come down to. Lyrax, you're part of this ship, and I think earlier on we were very neutral about those things. If we want to save your people, I'm okay with helping you do as much as I can with that, but that turns into some very murky waters. And I don't think that we need to decide and make some steadfast rules about that right now. But we all have to understand who is your enemy. Is it the soldiers down on Aurora, or is it the person, light years away that's packaging the Stardust that they're using, or is it both of them? Or And I don't know if you need to answer that question right now, but again, we're about to go somewhere where you'll be able to see a peaceful, somewhat planet after assimilation. And don't get me wrong, I'm never going to try and tell you that your planet needs to be assimilated, because that is the way they do it is horrible. But you do need to see that some people that live on these planets are just normal people. They don't know what's going on outside in the galaxy. But that is a great number 3.
So I found.
Yeah. But before we go too far, Miss Constance, are any of these rules resonating with you or sticking with us? Do I need to drop you anywhere? I just need to...
Thinks for a second. She like holds her egg closer to her chest.
I guess just show me everything. I want to see it.
That's a fair ask.
Miss Constance.
If I may add that into a rule, should we make it no more lies or no more secrets?
I think that I'm gonna trust you all to give me the information that I need at the time that I need it. I think that a partnership does not mean that we are each other. Your thoughts are your own. Your experiences are your own. When it comes to the rules that we're making, if they're not in contention with those rules, and it's not pertinent information, I'd rather see you as the people that I see you as right now. I don't need to know about your past, and I don't need to know about your intentions if they're not against what we're trying to do at the moment. If you want to tell your secrets, you can tell them. If you want to keep them close, I hope that I gain your trust to learn.
And to add on to that, I'd say the past is not important until it becomes important. Say, someone from your past shows up. Say something you've done comes back to haunt you. It's happened to me, it's happened to Brenden, and I'm sure it's happened to everyone in this room at one point or another. Just be honest, you know? Let us know if it's important now. Just spill it. We'll listen, we'll see what we can do from here, because now it's a problem, and it's our problem.
Well, see, and this is why I let you talk, because that's a great segue. I haven't maybe been painting the full picture for you all. Exactly. I'm not just a freedom fighter for Achilles, and I'm not just a noble. This isn't something I tell anyone, unless they already know me. I'm next in line for the monarchy, and I was the leader of the rebellion.
Formally, as in previously, or still am, still are?
The next in line? Or, no, I'm not a king.
Ah, next in line, I see.
Oh.
Are you still the acting leader, or is there someone in your place now?
I think he's talking about the are you still the leader of the rebellion?
If I went there, I would, I assume, be in charge still, but my mentor has been heading things while in my absence. I was the one that left to go and find help. I felt I was the only one that could. And my mentor agreed, though reluctantly.
How long ago was that, Mr. Lyrax?
How long has it been, God? I think, 6 months, a year? Somewhere in that range?
Almost a year, if not a year.
Approaching my
Around a
year
year.
anniversary on my vacation.
Yeah, surprise. Happy anniversary. It's been a year.
Flip looks comically sleepy, almost as if he's channeling Winnie the Pooh, as he looks to Lyrax and goes, "Yeah, mate, we'll help you."
Brenden goes over to where like his nav station is. It's not the front of the ship, it's like more off to the side. And he's still listening as Lyrax is saying all this stuff, and he's just pulling up all the information. I assume it's probably not a lot of information on Achilles, but he's just finding anything and everything that he can, and he'll download it to a drive and just toss it over to Lyrax on what the rest of the galaxy thinks of his planet and what the current news is on it, and if there is any news on it.
Oh, well, Lyrax has him. He has a
Brenden doesn't know that. Brenden tosses in the drive.
Wikipedia.
It's like, here, I Googled Achilles. You should learn
Exactly.
about the place you grew up.
That's
And
most
then he
people
says,
knowledge,
and then he
actually,
looks
so
over
that's
at him and he
accurate.
says, "Well, as the best, the funniest thing about this, Mr. Lyrax, is at the very least he did find 2 war dudes. Probably introduce you to a couple of people.
That's fantastic.
Potentially help your cause. Yeah, I could do that. That's not too too hard. He'll pop his back a little bit." All right, so let's go back over them one more time then. You guys are the most important thing. Making sure you stay alive.
Rule 1.
Number 2 is our home. Yes.
Protect our home.
And then number 3, respectively, help.
We can make that one the not lying.
Yeah, we'll do that, not lying. And then number 4, respectively, is show Miss Constance everything. And at the very least, help Mr. Lyrax find his own way of securing his rebellion and what that might look like in the future. Now for me and Flip, mine's pretty simple. On my number 4, if we see Big Ben, we're gonna try and kill him. Or at the very least catch him. And we'll tell you all about Big Ben later.
Yeah, my
I
sword.
just press a button off to the side and like a whole like conspiracy theory-esque of like
The
Big
Jedi
Ben
archives.
sightings and everything just is flying everywhere, like is illuminated, and then I press it again. You guys will have to learn this. The sightings of him.
You think the bounty's still good on them? Should be, right?
So many zeros you wouldn't even.
Bounties only grow riper with
The
age.
zeros
like wine.
keep being added by the years. But yeah.
That could be a brilliant way to fund a rebellion.
It'd be a brilliant way to buy a planet.
Rolf-
Jesus, how much he's worth.
And or repair the ship.
Oh.
Or maybe just buy a planet. That
So
might be
rule
better,
4. Well, shit, if we could just buy Achilles, it would solve everything, wouldn't it? Rule 4 is all of our mutual interests. We're going to try and do our best to work towards them. Constant, what is yours?
I'm going to show you everything.
Okay.
Mine was to see
I
everything.
might need to add on to that.
I
Constant, you are in the shit, as they might say. I have a friend, adoptive mother of sorts, took me in when I was on the run, showed me the ropes, And she is very, very good at making people disappear. I think that may be our next step, is to go find her.
Okay.
You know the transfusion where I was working, right?
Yeah.
Monica Ash, she owns this chain of bars throughout the galaxy. And she is, I would venture to say, more well-connected than Estrella. Mysterious, elusive, very, very powerful, and very, very well-connected. Brenden, is there a transfusion on this planet you mentioned?
Brenden, as far as you know, there's a transfusion.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
You're well aware of the legend of Monica.
I was about to say,
exactly.
You know, there's probably one or two. I feel like we got time to check it out. This planet isn't. Yeah. We'll head over to wherever the nearest bounty hunters club is on the planet, which I don't expect it to be too big. This one's a pretty peaceful one. We're not going to an active or dangerous place this go around, but we are just going to go to I'd say it's probably like a class 1 or 2.
I would like that. I also, while we're there, I need to go to a temple of some kind.
Sure. I'll take us to make sure we go to a little place that has one.
Thank you.
Oh, Brad.
Well, I feel a lot better about this already.
Yeah.
Shall we?
Seems like I guess Flip, I guess we can't just be to the 2 short men anymore.
Well, Lyrax, I don't think you count. Well, that would be deceiving.
Yeah, sure.
Lyrax goes and gets the band.
It would be very deceiving.
If you hear you're getting jumped by the 2 short men and then you show up and it's constant on Lyrax's shoulders, just looks like one really big guy. Could be something.
But yeah, what are you gonna call yourselves now?
What if I'm the short one's shadow? The 3 short. I don't know. It's already a mouthful.
I'm sure.
Every possibility I can think of.
Yeah. 2
short men and friends.
friends.
2 short men and friends.
And friends.
My ego doesn't like that, but I'll take it.
Yeah,
for
nothing's
now.
worse than
all right, well,
being the end friends.
Well, yeah, we'll workshop it.
We'll keep it as that until we find a little better.
And with that, you guys head off towards the next planet, Luminara.
That was Christian Hatcher as Brenden Dionheart, Dan Wood as Flip Odonell, Max Morin as Lyrax Proudmane, Rayna Mcguire as Constant, and Brandon Hatcher as your DM. A special thanks to the cast of This Dungeon is Occupied, playing Cletus, Jeebus, and Retus. Stardust and Dragons is co-produced by Christian and Brandon Hatcher and Caleb Patrick. This episode was edited by Max Morin and me, Christian Hatcher. The cast and crew would also like to give a special thanks to Flock Obama, our highest Patreon subscriber. If you like our content, the best way to support us is to find us on Patreon at patreon.com/SpeakEasyProductions. There you can find our Discord, art, and special deals on how you can get more involved with our community. For more information, make sure to look us up at stardustanddragons.com. And remember, our adventure is in the stars. And remember, our adventure is in the stars.